Good evening. Back for another session of human and community development. Human and community development, all it means is that you have to develop a man, and a man develop his community. Since we have a broken down man, we have a broken down community. And tonight I'm going to talk about if a person is a precinct person, how do they get started setting their precinct up? What is the first step? See, a lot of people would do a lot of stuff if they knew how to do it. Like you take a kid and you walk him through some steps. It ain't long before that kid catch on and learn how to do it. But if don't nobody show you the steps, you never learn how to do it. So tonight we're going to talk about, first thing I'm going to talk about is how do we get our precinct government set up. Okay? I know, see, because Mike says he's a precinct person. You're a precinct person too, ain't you? Ted. Okay. All right, so let me, so, just say you're not a precinct person, but you want to assume social responsibility for your precinct. Okay, so you just say you see your precinct all in disarray and you want to assume responsibility. See, it's two things. It's the voted in precinct committee, and it's the one that actually do the work. Y'all know how that is in everything. It's the one who got the position and the one who actually do the work for the position. The one who actually do the work never get recognized for the most part unless somebody come along with clear eyes and can see they're the ones that are doing the work. That's why when most of the stuff that the precinct committee person do, the councilman take, you know, he take credit for it. All right, let's precinct committee person. Yeah. Precinct number 23, wherever that is. You got a person go assume responsibility. The first thing that person does is go through the community and introduce yourself. You go through the community and introduce yourself. And the next thing he does is that he knows in order to set up a human community program skit, you have to have 6 people. Well, actually you have to have 8. You have to have a secretary, somebody to take the minutes. You have to have a treasurer, somebody who count the money. So every time you send up something, you got to have an honest person counting the money, and you got to have an honest person taking notes. For instance, a good idea come up that we go down and do this. Well, the secretary can't write down. Ernie Harris put that to motion when Michael's. Y'all know when they started running cows from Texas up to Oklahoma, it wasn't no paths. They had to make those paths themselves. Did y'all know that? Yeah, they had to make. What's that one path? I forget. Anyway, so when you set up your precinct, you got to know all the churches in your precinct and who is the preacher. You got to know about the businesses in your precinct. You got to know about the government, who's over your precinct and who's over your ward. You got to know who's. You got to know what clinics operate in your precinct. How do your people get health information? Y'all know that majority of the people in our precinct die from heart attacks and all that, and don't nobody have seminars in our precinct to tell them how to avoid that? Don't you know that the doctors in your neighborhood, they know what medicine is good for you, but they don't, but when you write your prescription, they don't give you those medicines. Did you know that? Did you know that? Sorry. Like, for instance, if you got diabetes, a lot of the doctors may put you on metformin. That doctor already know that metformin mess with your eyes, mess with your liver, mess with your kidney. So why would he put you on? And he know that eating grapefruit would do the same thing metformin does. He know this. He trained, but he put you on the prescribed medicine that pharmaceutical company give him to give you. Did y'all know that? So, but if you have a person in your precinct who studied this stuff and they're able to deliver this information to the people, then the people could change their clinical habits. Government, business, home. Then you have a home person. And this person, all they do is go through your community, tell you how many houses you got, how many buildings you got, how many older people you got, how many children you got, how many intact families you got, how many broken. Because you got to know that if you want to help people. So you got to know that if you want to help people. And then you have a committee that don't do nothing but deal with schools. What kind of education does our kids get? How many kids we got going to this school? How many go to that school? This is in your precinct. What are they teaching over here? What are they teaching over there? Is our kids getting the proper education that's going to lead them to run, develop, maintain, and administrate their institution? Okay. See? So, when you go to pick these people, church, government, business, clinic, homeless, when you go to pick these are committee chairmen. These are people that's over these committees. They should be knowledgeable for people about these precincts, but if they're not, you can educate them. I would rather take a man with a high school education but love people than a guy with a doctor's degree that can't stand people. All right. Because I know the man with high school education, if he love people, he's gonna learn it. See, you only learn through loving. Because if you got attitude, you can't learn nothing from nobody. I used to know this girl in high school. She was the finest thing in high school. Then she was very shy. She very well could be watching it. But anyway, and she was cute. But couldn't nobody get along with her. She was smooth. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have a little short, brown woman that loved me than a snooze. I don't know about y'all. I don't know how y'all pick y'all people.
Oh my God.
But I'd rather have somebody who loves me than somebody I'm trying to keep up with who snoozes. So if you get people that's willing to work, let me tell you something, man. I can take you right now and surround you with the proper people. You can run this government. Did you know that? Sure. You do a better job than Trump. You will. Do you know Trump ain't got no degree he didn't pay for? Right. All the degrees he say he got, his daddy paid for. That's why his words he use ain't no bigger than 4 and 5 word letters. Y'all hear him talk? Mm-hmm. He don't use no big words. If you ever hear him use big words, our program is gonna be the best. It's gonna be the greatest ever seen. He don't use no big words. Come on. Greatest of all time. He really don't have no education. The education he got was honorary and was bought. But you don't have to do that. Oh, you got to go and find you 6 honest people. 6 honest people that agree to meet once a week. Once a week. And as they get their reports to the meeting, they give a report on what they've been working on. Once you get this underway, once you just get here, you're a dangerous person, man. If you can develop this, you become dangerous. Because you know why? That is the organizational structure of the Lord's Prayer. Y'all know that? That's the organization. Our Father, theology, church, our Father. Forgive us as we forgive, psychology clinic. Forgive us as we forgive. Give us the daily bread, ecology, business, lead us not into temptation, biology, home, and deliver us from evil, anthropology, school. If you can get just this far, Mike, if you can go down Ward 7 and get them to do this, and y'all start working assiduously, you'll be talking to town. I know you be talking now. You know why I know? Because ain't no truth higher than this. If it is, go out and find it. I looked all over. And I looked all over. I haven't found any truth that's higher than this. That's why I know if you ascertain this, you best around here. And all it takes is just a little bit of work. See, God ain't putting nothing on us hard.
No.
But we just don't want to work. And let me tell you how we relate to that. If I have to act outside of my conference area, I don't want to do it. Now, let me tell you about the Negro attitude. Talk a little bit about that so you know about the Negro attitude. If I got to work outside my comfort area, I don't want to do it. If I don't like the people who doing it, I don't like him. They ain't participating. I can't stand her. I can't stand him. That's the Negro attitude. And as a result of that, nothing ever get done. I ain't gonna work with them. And y'all ever experienced that? Yeah, you experienced that? But Trump done fixed it. Trump done fixed it. So we got to work with people we don't like. We got to work with people we don't know. We got to unify and organize with groups we don't. Even though a group did something to you a couple of years ago, you got to forgive them and go on. In this diaspora of time, we got to work with all our people.
Right. Yes.
Because our survival depends on it.
Yes.
And let me tell you something else about that. Ted, at our age, like at our age, our lives, all of us are retired. Our lives is basically made, but their lives isn't. And so the work that we do is to secure life for them. Oh hell, I could take my money out the bank and get my wife and go and live on the coast. I can do that. But why would I do that when my children coming behind me gonna have it hard? Trump done made it so these kids don't hardly have a chance. So we got to fight the war for them.
Yes.
Even though we kind of got it good for ourselves, we got to fight the war for them. And not only that, we got to teach them how to fight for themselves.
Right. Yes.
And bring them into the picture. And so, look, man, I don't expect no less from you than George Washington did his children, than Thomas Jefferson did his children. See? If they fought for liberty and justice and peace, we got to fight for it too. Nothing ever rolls in on the great wheels of inevitability. Everything gained is everything struggled for.
Yes.
And we got to teach our children
Yes,
to fight. That's why I'm so glad when I see Art bring little Art and the girls and the demonstrations and when we keep teaching them how to fight for themselves.
yes.
There can be no greater sight than teaching them how to fight. And let me tell you something. A child may listen to what you say, but they do what you do.
Yes. That's true.
Do what you do.
That's true.
You can make your kids come to a meeting and say, quiet like these two girls, you done did some work in the house. You ain't got to tell me. I know you done did some work in the house because the average person with kids their age ain't gonna, they haven't did no work in the house, they ain't gonna come here and sit still. Yes.
They don't sit still, you do a lot. But you lie to the kids.
They sit still now.
Don't you lie to the kids.
Yeah, but they sit still now.
Because they're scared of their daddy.
My point. Dad and God, or Father and God is somewhere alike. It says the first knowledge of God is to begin to fear Him.
Yes.
And the first respect for Daddy is begin to fear Him. He loves you, but you know He'll bring a wrath down on you when you do wrong. And He's supposed to. Because if black men had brought the wrath down on his kids when they did wrong, they wouldn't be out in the street shooting each other. They wouldn't even be breaking in folks' houses. You see what I'm saying? If they had brought the wrath down on them when they started doing wrong. And you can't teach no kid, but when you get this tall, you gotta stop when you get like this. If you don't stop when he's like this, and when you get like this, you done lost him. You done lost him. So yeah, so They see, yeah, I like what they doing.
Thank you.
Okay. So you see it, Mike, what I'm saying? Once you, and I know you got a secretary, I know you got a treasurer, but you got to allocate your people to assume social responsibility for one of these. And once they, I'm talking about someone who ain't scared to go out and do some investigating and study on what it takes to constitute the church. What is the church supposed to do? God gave us the church because there's a church supposed to do something. What is it supposed to do? It's supposed to teach our people principle.
Yeah.
And you gotta make sure the line preachers stop taking the money and start teaching principles.
Yes.
And if you can get all the preachers in your ward, and I know you got a lot of churches there, in your ward to come together, and over here, you have what they call a three-pronged bank system. Savings and loan, endowment, and investment. And all of these institutions pay into that. What I mean by that? Your businesses. You go to all your businesses. And can you pay $10 a month into our precinct chest fund? For all your business down, you'll pay $10 a month. $10. If you can ask all your family, your home people, pay $1, all the people in your ward, pay just $1 a month into this. If you can ask your councilwoman, pay $100 a month into this. You can ask your church people, and all this money going into this. Do you know? And now this money in your endowment, you can never touch. You can borrow from it. But your investment money, you know what your investment money go for? Say if I come to you over the precinct. I said, Mike, I got about 4 or 5 young guys, and we want to start us a little business. And all we need is $1,000 to do it. And we need you all to criticize us as we're doing to make sure it works. You lend $500 and you criticize and watch his business grow. And let him do something that black folks need so they don't have to go out their neighborhood. Because with this thing coming up with Trump, we're going to have to stop going to the malls. We're going to have to learn how to produce those things in our neighborhood and start buying from ourselves. Y'all don't hear me. I wish y'all did. We're going to have to stop buying. Young men, how y'all doing? These some other young men that's been taught with. You got to make sure they grow up to be fighters. Otherwise, we leave them at prey with vultures. Do y'all know when a mama lion have little kittens? Do you know a couple of days after the kittens come out, do you know the kittens know how to fight?
Yeah.
That's why you see them fighting each other. They know how to protect. How you doing? They know how to protect themselves. And we got to teach our kids how to do that, protect themselves. What I mean, I ain't talking about what I'm talking about. If somebody come up on you and talking to you in a way that it demeans you, you have to correct it. I'm not talking about fighting. No, sir, that's not me. That's not me. Like when I was in the Navy, we was down in Guantanamo, Cuba, and a white boy come up on me, called me a nigger. So, and he had about 50 of them around. He ain't gonna call me a nigger by himself. So I said, all right, buddy, when I find a nigga, I'm telling you looking for it. And I walked home. Because he ain't talking to me. So we have to learn how to deal with things very cleverly without, but don't never let nobody demean you to their face. Most black folks, you can criticize them and demean them, they don't even know you criticize. Like a college professor don't try to tell me in one of my religious classes, you from spontaneous culture, as if I didn't know what spontaneous meant. I said, no, brother, you got me wrong. My culture built the world. That's right. My culture put 30-ton rocks 50 feet in the sky, and the old folks was in the caves fighting and eating the animal flesh. So you got to know when people, you got to learn language. So Mike, any questions about this? Cause Mike, if you ever get this far, you're gonna be talked about all over the county. Because we're gonna be sitting with the man with the plan.
Well,
Most folks don't even get this far, cause they, you know why? Because of this. They got that syndrome.
Yes,
I would, yeah, but, they gonna stop me, yeah, but, somebody gonna say something, yes, but. If you ever get over yes, but, just go on and do it. Like I said in the last.
So the S is supposed to be what is the S?
Oh, school, I'm sorry.
So he has somebody in from the school board, from
right,
the board
in
seven
my
me.
ward.
Oh,
I'm the state board.
oh, that's your committee.
Okay, when you talk about schools, right, in the city of Cleveland particularly, the city of Cleveland, out of, and I better get this right, cause I got the,
You got the
yeah,
state board.
yeah. I got there's 607 school districts in the state of Ohio, right? And Cleveland is the only school district out of those 607 who do not elect their school board members. We are mayoral rule, which means that we have what you call a CEO rather than a superintendent. Because if we elected our school board members, I would elect somebody like Miss McCoy, who you gave accolades about, you know, but we don't have that, and our mayor, let's see, how do I say this? To be a mayor of a major city like Cleveland is a full-time position.
True.
So at what point do he take care of the schools? On his coffee break? And as a result of us being mayoral rule,
You smoking dope with the shot.
we have not graded statewide wise
That's a good.
over the grade of a D in the last 25 years. So in short, what that means is that even if a young fella do duck all the fiery darts of the hood, and he graduates from a John F. Kennedy or East Tech, his diploma on a statewide level is basically considered as him graduating functionally
It's a
illiterate.
GED.
Yeah, it's functionally considered functionally illiterate because it's graded at a state level. So how do we reverse that? Because there's a political law that has the mayoral over that.
See, man, that's how, see, here's
Let me
what
get
you
it
got.
out. Let me get it out. Let me
Here's
get
what you
it
gotta
out.
see.
Do we attack it from the legislative side, where we change the selection or the process in which we are under now? Because after 25 years, it's obvious that it don't work. In Ward 7, we don't even have a high school. You understand what I'm saying? So there's some things that we gotta address first before we can get to
Now,
other
let me ask
things.
you a question.
I got questions here.
I got your wife. I'm down here beating on you. You gotta wait for them to pass a legislature for you to stop me from beating on
I don't know that that's a good parallel, but but you
I
gotta
got my
be
hand on you.
strategic. We don't wanna just be,
Why not?
it's good in theory,
Why not?
because there's laws in place,
Let me tell
and
you,
you gotta,
the man was not made
She'll
for
tell you all about
the
it.
laws was
She-
made for
she
man.
is.
The laws was made
She's
for
really
man.
talking
So
about it right there.
that's not gonna change
We're gonna
until
do
the
this, we're gonna
people.
do that.
You see, okay, now listen up. It's not gonna change until the people come rush the city and say, look, we need somebody responsible for our schools, and if not, it's gonna take the people. And it's gonna take people standing up, so we want our schools back on our own offices. And we ain't selling for nothing else. And we ain't taking the appeal of gradualism, we want it now. And when the people rise up, see, like somebody said, if they put their hand on your mouth and you smoke, do you want them to gradually take it off or find out what's feasible for them to take it off by law? Or do you just remove this hand from
You wanna hear what Chantel Brown says about
well,
school districts
one of
or
the
what?
things that I will tell you is that You know, because I got a
You're avoiding
background
my
in organized
office.
labor, right? And one
Small
of the,
Business Expo, that goes with schools, right?
Question about the state level. The state level, I have a question about the
Right
state
there,
level.
Chantel Brown will tell you, you're a big Ixnay, Bull State.
Hold a minute, Phil, I'll hear from you, please.
so,
I wanted to ask you, when you said state level, like, they get a grade, like when you was giving an example of John F. Kennedy,
right.
what do you mean, if you comparing John F. Kennedy to Twinsburg, what do you mean about the grade level? I want
Oh,
to.
the grade
Well,
level is like,
the grading at a state level. They grade each school district, is that right?
They grade each school district,
Right.
based on the number of,
no,
scores and things of that sort.
the
Right.
scores.
And then it's based on that. And so right now, Cleveland, even though they received 3
CMSD.
stars,
Right,
that's like a D.
Right.
It's still at a
They
D.
don't do
okay.
And so when you talk about the state level, since I'm here, is, we're trying to make some changes, and that's what I wanna talk to you about, because, and that's something when he just brought up, that's what I wanna talk to you about, because what I'm doing right now is going around to these schools, and I have to meet with the mayor and everybody, because I'm over them. So, I'm trying to get with them so we can get something together to get these grades up for the CMSD, because we're losing, schools, funding for it, all of that. It's a lot. And so something has to change. And when you talk about the legislative part, it's like, yeah, you can do you can go out and,
Do a charter
yes,
amendment.
get a charter amendment.
That's the
Time
only
to
way you
choose
can
time
change.
with the
That's what I
students.
suggested.
Because one of the things about
City
law,
changes.
Mike,
This is
Mike.
what R. McCoy brought up, the enrollment in the city changes, so they look up after enrollment, hey, we have 5,000 students, maybe Solon, we got 8,000, maybe Bedford Heights or Shaker Heights, we got this many. But East Cleveland, it's whittled down to nothing. I'm not making East Cleveland anything, but it goes up that cigar road. Hey, we're gonna chop the block. We're gonna chop the block here, it's state funding, the state auditor looks at it, he goes, hey, population depletion. People deplete one city, they go to another, like Solon. So people from East Cleveland, business people, they moved to Solon. So now they're, that backs up.
Let me tell you this.
If that makes a sense.
Again, you got it. In the schools, there are, I think, 7 standards.
I apologize.
Oh, no, you're fine, you're fine. In the school, there's 7 standards, math, English, and the school.
With
I think-
population,
All right,
Wait.
all right, hold on.
Wait, is it
But
turning?
all right.
when I was working at Rhodes, I think we got more standards than any other school. And I think we got 4. And we was the top school. And that's what that standard says. How many of your people are efficient at math? How many of your people are efficient at English? And those are standards that they set. Am I right?
You're right.
Those are standards. And so they go by the standards of each school. And I think Cleveland always score at the last.
They do, the last in the state of Ohio.
Okay.
I mean, it's sad.
Hi everybody. I'm new to the men's army. My name is Isaiah. I just want to point out. What about Collinwood? Why haven't they built a new school for Collinwood?
They don't have students. They don't have the students. They only have 239 students in college.
Right.
It used to be 1,200.
Okay. Okay.
Glenville, they slow too. So I think they got in mind to merge Collinwood, Glenville, and Gann Academy
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
because they don't have the students.
Okay.
I have something for
For to
you.
build
they
a new
gonna do
school.
this?
Oh, I don't know. They got plans down there. They got plans.
I need to be at a meeting for this, because I got a child to go to Gann Academy.
Who go to Gann Academy?
My son,
When?
he started Gann Academy in January.
Why didn't you tell me?
Yeah, he go to Gann.
Oh, man. That's my home. That's my school.
Yeah, he go to Gann.
Right, we'll talk there. We'll talk there, right there. If I'm, you know, in the inner city, I'm gonna send my great kids to Gid, or my son to Gid. I'm not gonna send them to Shaw or wherever I gotta go.
Well, they made it so you could live here.
No, you're talking private and then the other
Gid is not a
side.
private school. Gid is a
Gid
private
is
school.
not a private school.
It's not, it's a public school. It's a choice, right, it's a choice.
Right, but you gotta pay to go in there.
You don't have to.
No, you don't gotta pay to go in there.
You don't have to.
Really? You gotta teach me.
You don't, I used to work there, you don't have to
You
pay.
ain't gotta pay to get
I
in
always
here.
thought you had to pay to go in to Gid.
No, you don't. No, you don't. It's not a private school. Okay, let me finish this, and so you can ask a couple questions so I can let my chairperson, start her meeting. All right, so this is how, if you can do this, Mike, or anybody who wanna be a precinct person, if they can start this, set up this, all you need is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and plus yourself. 9 people. And you can resurrect the precinct. But where we get stopped at is everybody, yeah, but, are they gonna let us do it? Yeah, but, can we do it? Always gotta ask Uncle Bubba for his approval. Just can't do it. Like you said it on the shirt, just do it. Gotta ask Uncle Bubba for his thing to do it. Yeah, I agree.
Right.
You know, it is far easier to do something and have somebody tell you that's wrong. They're not to do it. Right. It's easy to apologize that you not get permission. Right. Right. Anybody got, but this is the basic structure of what we're talking about. Human and community development. And I'm gonna tell you about this. It's about these people looking out there after their own interests, in their own interests. See, if we had had this working, we never would have had the malls. The malls came about, and I think some people set some folks up to burn the stores in the black community, so the black folks are taking their money out to the malls. Believe me, that just wasn't no, that was an ongoing hustle. And now we take more money to the malls than we spend in our own community.
Let's go to Brett.
But if we start developing our own business,
Some basketball guys.
in our own church and stuff, what we need a church for? We need a church to preach our boys' principles, to teach them how to be a man without fighting, killing each other.
Yeah.
We need businesses to give our boys and girls opportunities. That they, do y'all know? Do y'all know? I want y'all to hear this real good. Most inventions in the United States, you know where they come from?
Black people. Black people.
Which one?
Us.
Black women.
Germany.
They come from black women.
Okay.
Do you know black women invented a furnace to heat your house?
Okay.
Black women invented an ironing board that you iron your clothes on. Do you know that?
Wow.
Black women.
Right. Oh, black.
Do you know the pen that you ink in? Black women invented.
All right. All right.
So when you talk about, we need to, and the only thing we have to do to really educate our children is put them in a room and say, create your imagination. And do you know kids would get in a room in 1979? I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna quit. In 1979, I bought a 1979 Mustang. Y'all know that was the little cute one. Do you know there was a white kid from Idaho who designed that car?
Iacocca.
No, they weren't Iacocca. Iacocca was Chrysler. But listen, there was a white kid, Idaho school that like, you know Ford Motor Company gave his school for the idea $2 million, gave him $1 million for just the drawing. What you think would happen if these kids get in the room and start developing and creating out their mind? Our children, when our children come up with something, they mess around and tell Uncle Bubba, and Uncle Bubba step it before they have a chance to pack it. Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
If our kids get to thinking and get to creating and get tennis well up, because they got just that much imagination in their mind. They're smart, they're intelligent. Don't ever let nobody tell you this kid can't learn.
Yes.
They ain't teaching the way he learned. If they taught the way he learned, he'll learn everything.
Yes.
And on that, I'm gonna close unless somebody has a question. All right, Madam Chairman, you can make your way on up. All right, see y'all next time.
Thank you, Ernest.
Yes. So Mike, so you understand we gotta be done.
I do, right? But here's the thing, man. You know what I'm saying? We can't think that legislation is just some